Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is, of course, the BBC Spews for the 21st of April. If you're here, you already knew that, didn't you? So I don't really need to tell you. But we might as well keep up the pretense of attempting to make this a professional show. A show. As if it's a show. It's just a fucking hairy bloke sat in a chair swearing. Anyway, who cares? They're all here, right? Who cares if it's a show or not? Although, to be honest, after watching Mark Stein's show yesterday, fuck me, I think my production values are better than GB News. I hope that GB News hasn't been infiltrated by woke, what's the polite term for them again? Cunts. I hope GB News hasn't been infiltrated by woke cunts and they're trying to, like, piss all the guests off on purpose because they do seem to be incompetent to the point where it's actually comical now. Like, you know what I mean? There was that sort of first 3 months where they were useless and they fucked everything up and the sound quality was terrible. And then it got good, but like it's been like a year now and they keep fucking things up. Peter Hitchens was meant to be on there, so I tuned in to watch it. And yeah, balls it all up again. I hope Mark Stein doesn't get pissed off because he's the best. He's the best commentator on TV, bar none. Anyway, welcome everybody who's in. Let's have a look. Who've we got? Debs Red, Davey Lampard, Blue Van Man, Martin Ward, Stevie Young, Craig Hewitt, Jenny Shovel, Bri Pace. There's loads in. Mark Thompson, Two Tone, Davey Boy, Debs Red, JVPA, Luke Hall, Rebel Frog Guy, Kirky Bally, Phil Sam, Origami Pig, Derek, Anglo-Saxon, Vivian Needle, Papa Golf, fucking hell, everyone's in. Rosebuds, Carl Pollard, Dave Mitchell, Rebel Frog, Trent Ugger, Widow Shins, Frederick March, One Iron Man, sir. Hello, everyone. Right, everyone. Now, welcome. Okay, we've got two things we can talk about today. We can do the 50 billion wiped off Netflix's value as subscribers quit, or if you want to do something that's actual importance, we can talk about the UK's black icons worthy of recognition. So, by Automia Guobadia. Automia Guobadia, good strong English name there. Obviously, UK's gay black icons there as British as fish and chips. The gay black icons. Fucking look at that. That guy in the middle. It's like fucking Father Christmas if he fell asleep on the tanning tubes. They got his hair squared away by Tony and Guy. So, do you want to do that? No, let's not. Let's do some real news, eh? I can't be arsed with it. I can't. It's low it's low hanging fruit, that stuff, isn't it? Let's not do that. Diane Abbott's Park. Oh, I'm not talking about that. Surely that's not going to happen. Surely that was just Labour saying it should happen. But considering Labour are even worse than the Tories, I can't see that happening, can I? Because if Labour rise to power, I'll be absolutely astounded. Nonsflix, yes, exactly as Jack London says, right? So this is funny, isn't it? Because BBC didn't once make mention of the fact that there might be an elephant in the room here. That's what I talked about when I spread the stream about. There is an elephant in the room. It's a big pink furry elephant with a gigantic spiky dildo strapped to its fucking head. This is the elephant in the room, right? Because, well, I'll read you the story, and then, as usual, I'll explode into a fit of furious righteous anger at the end of it. 50 billion wiped off Netflix's value as subscribers quit. I wonder why. There's fucking Bridgerton, yeah. Everyone in Britain was black in fucking 1803. Yeah, of course it was. Of course they fucking were. We are doing it. We've got the census data from 1991, which was the first time that they actually included ethnic data. And in 1991, Britain was 96 point something percent white. In 1991. 91. So fuck knows what it looked like in 1961. In 1961, it must have been 99%. And in 1861, well, fuck me. Finding a black bloke in London in 1861 would be like trying to find a fucking unicorn. And that's just a fact. I've had this argument many times. Again, I've done the research, I've crunched the numbers. The BBC and all of the woke leftists, because like all communists, they want to destroy the history books and set them all on fire. They constantly lie. And I've crunched the numbers and they haven't. The first census data to include ethnic background was the 1990s. This is true, 1991. But we still have historical records that point to the approximations of communities, regardless of the ethnicity being included, because we had other data anyway, including your country of origin, place of birth, right? So we might not have specifically asked every living person, what do you identify as ethnically? But we do have data, where were you born? And the best guess from people with relation to the ethnic minority population of the United Kingdom post Second World War, so let's just say 1945, is still that the UK was 99% ethnically homogenous in 1945. So earlier than that, it's 99.999% ethnically homogenous. I believe the last bit of data I remember reading is when I was writing a Quora piece, because I was debating with a communist, was that the best estimation was that there was 20,000 black and brown people living in the UK in 1893 or something. And the population was about 5 or 6 million. But again, it was less than 99.99% of the UK was ethnically homogenous in the 1800s. And the idea that Bridgerton is in any way historically accurate is laughable. The other thing the other problem I've got with this is, as I keep saying, they contradict themselves, which is why I have such anger at this type of thing. It's not about the depiction of people. It's not. It's about two things. It's about the rewriting of history, which is what the Gestapo and the Stasi and the fucking Nazis and the communists and basically the most evil people throughout history have always tried to rewrite the history books. As Orwell said, we live in an endless present because the history books, all the books have been destroyed. The history doesn't exist. There is none. It's the principle of the matter, because I know historically where this type of thing leads. The modern depictions as presented by Disney and Netflix and the like are equivalent to book burnings. They are lying about history. And you get people on television in England lying. Let me just say, by the way, this is something else, gone on a bit of a tangent. I hate the way that people like Sargon and the Lotus Eaters and other people who were chasing more mainstream views. And again, I'm not slagging them off. I'm a big fan of them. I watch Lotus Eaters every day. But I do hate the way they keep using their language. As I've said, I try not to use their language because I'm a big fan of Christopher Hitchens and David Starkey and cleverer people than me, Peter Hitchens, who've said you shouldn't use their words, right? And here's one that I've never heard anybody else bring up. I've never heard Peter Hitchens or any of them bring up, but I've just noticed this myself. Have you noticed how everybody started saying dis and misinformation? I listened to the Lotus Eaters podcast and they were like, oh, this is disinformation and this is misinformation. Why has every normal person started fucking using this shit lingo? Why do you say misinformation? Why do you say disinformation? Why don't you say fucking lies? Why? Can anyone give me a reason in the chat? I want to know. I want to know why people that I do like have started using the term misinformation. Or the Spectator, Douglas Murray, they'll say, oh, that's misinformation, disinformation. You mean being a sneaky lying rat bastard? Yeah, you don't have to put in the F's and the C's and the T's and all of the swear words that the Angry Bootneck is so fond of. But why do they say misinformation? You mean you're a fucking liar? Everybody's copying the politicians now and the scumbag journalists. Oh, I may have misspoke. No, I lied. Just say it. Does it sound better? Oh, I misspoke. You mean you lied? You're a liar. We need to go back to the fucking days when lying was frowned upon. When you were a kid, my dad used to spit the words at me. You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. You couldn't lie straight in bed. What do you mean misinformation? Disinformation? Misspoke? Oh, I may have misspoke once or twice. You mean you're a fucking liar? You're a liar. If you think I tell a lie, call me a liar. I don't want to hear, Bootneck may have peddled some misinformation there. Fuck off, snake. The reason these people use these terms, YouTube, I think I got a strike for misinformation. No, I didn't. I didn't do any misinformation. If you want to call me a liar, call me a liar. But I didn't tell any lies. What you do is obfuscate and sneak and slither through the corridors of power, make shit up, and then call people who call you out on it. Oh, who strike against your channel for spreading misinformation. No. There was no misinformation. You're a liar. At least own it and have the courage of your convictions. And if you think I'm telling lies, call me a liar. Say you lied about X, Y, and Z, and we'll address it. But these slimy rats, these rat bastard politicians, and these rat bastard journalists keep using this term, misinformation, disinformation. And I don't like to see people that I'm fans of, like Carl Benjamin, using terms like misinformation. Don't call it misinformation, Carl. Call it fucking lies. Or if you're on quite a nice, clean channel like you, lies. You're a liar, Mr. Politician. You're a liar. Dirty, slimy, rat bastard politician. You're a liar, Diane Abbott. You're a liar, Dave Lammy. You're a liar, Netflix. You're a liar, Disney. You lie. You lie like a naffy watch. You lie like a hairy fucking egg. You lie like a Chinese Rolex. Lies, lies, lies. Every time you flick your forked tongue against your stained teeth, you fucking lie. You rat bastards. Call it what it is. Right? So just a bit of a rant there. Please stop using the term misinformation, disinformation, fucking lies. Stop flicking your tongue against your Cabernet stained lips. Your forked tongue, you politician, rat fuck, lying, slimy, cunt lip fucking arsehole. I prefer that term. But at least just say liar. Don't lie. Don't lie. Fucking misinformation. Anyway, so this is lies. This is lies. Netflix lies and Disney lies. They don't peddle mis and disinformation. They fucking lie. They book burn, they cheat, they sneak, they deceive, and they lie. There's another, you can call it deceit. Naked deceit. There's a good word. Instead of misinformation. So instead of disinformation, we'll say lying twat. And instead of misinformation, we'll say deceitful cunt. They'll be the two terms that I'm going to use from now on. Right? So this is exactly what's going on here. This is deceitful cunts and lying twats. Shares in Netflix have slumped by 35% after it was revealed they are fucking lying fork-tongued cunts. They warn millions more are set to quit the streaming service, but the BBC being the BBC, they're not interested in telling you why, or even alluding to why. So now they're going to tell us lots of lies about why. Lots of lies. It's wiped more than 50 billion off the firm's market value, as experts warned it faced a struggle to get back on track. Want to tell us why? No. Okay, here's some. Netflix faces intense competition from streaming rivals, but also hit after it raised prices and left Russia. Oh, really? So they're the only three reasons, BBC, are they? They're the only three reasons. Competition from rivals, they raised the prices, and they left Russia. And that's it. And that's it, ladies and gents. We can pack our bags and fuck off home. The BBC's told us why Netflix has just fucking lost a load of subscribers. Yeah? No, I'm only kidding. Don't worry. 17 minutes in, I'm not going to leave you hanging, sugar tits. I'm going to keep going. Do you know why Netflix has lost fucking 50 billion off the shares value? It's not because they face intense competition from streaming rivals, and also they raised prices. That must be it. Yeah. If I really like a service and they raise prices a little bit, I don't instantly go, fuck this service, I hate it now. Nobody does that, right? They put the price of a pint up every fucking year, the cunts. Does nobody stop drinking? The Chancellor of the Exchequer, that, speaking of lying, sneaky bastards, the Chancellor of the Exchequer's put fucking 2 pence on a pint every year for the last 20. We haven't all stopped drinking, have we? It's not because they raised prices, BBC, you deceitful cunts. It's not because they have streaming rivals. They've had streaming rivals for a decade, for fuck's sake. And it's not because they left Russia. How big's the market in Russia? For fuck's sake. Anyway, before I go on a rant, we'll carry on, or I won't get to the end of this story. Yet some cast doubt on its plans to boost growth, which includes bringing in a free ad-supported service. It also plans to crack down on password sharing. In a sign of the unease, one of America's best-known investors, William Ackman, ditched his $1.1 billion investment, taking a loss of $400 million. His hedge fund has bought the shares just 3 months ago. Good job. In a brief statement, Mr. Ackman said Netflix's plan to change its business model made sense, but the company feels too risky. Netflix's business is fundamentally simple to understand, but we've lost confidence in our ability to predict the company's future prospects with a sufficient degree of certainty. Ooh, how peculiar. Look, in a trading update, Netflix said its total number of subs had fallen by 200,000, falling well short of its target. So this guy, right, he's just said, in light of recent events, we have lost confidence in our ability to predict the company's future prospects. Right, in light of recent events. And do you think these recent events are intense competition from streaming rivals? Not a recent event. Not a recent event. Raised prices? They've always raised prices. And left Russia. You think they're the recent events that the hedge fund managers are alluding to, do you? BBC? You lying twats. Well, I'll tell you why, right? So anyway, it's just more fluff because they don't want to tell you why they think it's a problem. Look, they're still just lying. Squeeze consumers are cutting back on streaming services to save money. Oh yeah, that's what it is. And some feel there's too much content to choose from rivals like Disney and Amazon. Oh yeah, but the wider problem is that consumers don't have unlimited funds. Yeah, that's what it is. Consumers don't have unlimited. What, is that a new problem, is it? Well, up until 3 months ago, have we all had unlimited fucking funds? Is that new? New? It's brand new. Well, there you go. So basically, the BBC can't put the finger on it. And I'll keep going. Oh yeah, and there's been some great shows like Bridgerton, which is fucking the most historically inaccurate piece of shit since Braveheart. I mean, and don't start me on Braveheart, ladies and gentlemen. It's a piece of fucking shit. Scotsman in the chat, listen. He was a fucking mercenary and he fought for the English and he fought for the Scots. And about 0.2% of that dog shit film's true. And he couldn't speak French and he didn't fuck a princess. And he was a little pot-bellied fucking toothless dwarf with fucking lank, greasy hair and furry fucking toes. And he probably drank fucking Bucky or some ancient version of it. And he was about as much use as tits on a fish. It's a lot of bollocks. Oh, yeah, and also because he's a homophobic anti-Semite, the villain in it was not just an English villain, but he was sort of evil in a slightly Jewish gay way. Yeah, that's what a pile of shit that is. So Bridgerton is like, it's basically Braveheart for black people. They don't want to talk about it. They just talk about the revenue and they say it's weird. We all used to have unlimited funds. And I have no idea why. Nobody knows why. Weird, that, innit? Weird. Well, I'll fucking tell you why. I'll tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. The BBC have made out like this is difficult to understand. But it isn't. It isn't if you know where to look. Let me just show you why. I'll tell you why. Easy. Fucking why. If you haven't heard about it, Netflix played this coming of age fucking drama, which was basically Jimmy Savile's wanking fucking DVD. Basically, they found a crusty semen stained DVD under Jimmy Savile's bed. And they were like, and put it in one of those evidence bags. And then some curious copper fucking put it in his DVD player one night. You know, he scraped the fucking jizz off it and put it in his DVD player, and Cuties was on it. And as soon as somebody who worked for Netflix saw it, they went, fucking hell. Bing! Soon, instantly tent pegging it, because obviously they're all nonsense and fucking pedos who work for these woke companies. So they were tent pegging it within 2 seconds of watching Cuties. And it went from there. And then the general public heard about this and said, this is a terrible idea, because funny old thing, normal humans that value their children because they're not postmodernists, and they obviously do things like normal, poorly evolved primates with adrenal glands and not very logical brains. They just do what their programming tells them, and their programming tells them that you should value your children and protect them from the rigors of life. They don't subscribe to a postmodernist ideology that says up is down and left is right. And if you think you shouldn't fuck kids, you definitely fucking should, because that's totally logical. If you're a purple-haired, morbidly obese, physically repulsive gender studies professor with a face a dog wouldn't fucking lick. That's the simplest version I can put it. That's the simplest way I can put it. So, might I suggest that's why Netflix's stock's gone down and Disney's stock's gone down, which is annoying because I bought a couple of grand's worth of shares in Disney a few years ago thinking, oh yeah, that might go up. Little did I know, they were going to embrace fucking fisting children as well. It's just a mad time. To be fair, you can't have a go at me. It's very difficult making sensible investments when everybody's sucking each other off on telly. You know, who saw that coming? I was actually talking to my friends about this morning. I'll hold my hands up and say, listen, I've been wrong the last couple of years. I'm frequently right. And I was right on the money with the pandemic and the vaccines and all the COVID response and the amount of death and misery it was going to bring, and the closing schools and the whole fucking shebang, really. And the resulting health fallout from and the massive increase in cancers and skin cancer and diabetes and abuse and addiction and suicide and depression and self-harm and fucking all. Might have been right on the money there. But I was totally wrong about how bad things were going to get, because it seems in 2022, people like Alex Jones, they're going to be proved to be fucking prophets, because, I mean, this is me eating humble pie, or as much as I can. I don't think any of us could have seen how mad the world was going to go. I've been skeptical of the left for fucking years. You know, like I said, I was an early adopter of cancelling the BBC. I stopped paying my TV license in York. So that was about 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I just said, I'm not paying for it anymore. This is just propaganda. So I had the BBC's cards marked 10 years ago. But now, it's gone beyond the pale, far, far beyond the pale. I knew they were far left ideologically, and I knew they were going to keep advocating importing massive amounts of immigrants, or basically impoverishing the working class to suit their nefarious agenda. But I never thought in a month of Sundays that you would have government ministers embracing basically paedophilia, or you would really see blokes in fucking frocks lifting weights at the Olympics. Like, I never thought I'd see the day, and even that has proved me wrong, because I've always said I had no issues using the terms they wanted me to use, but I've lost my rag with that as well. As I've said, it's a mad state of affairs. When you've got these people saying that you shouldn't use the language of the left because it's poisonous and it's just another way of slowly eroding your confidence in the society that you've built. I was skeptical of that, but I'm not anymore, because this creeping authoritarianism has proved to be exactly that. It's subtle and it's cunning and it's manipulative, and I feel as if now every time I meet them halfway, I'm allowing them to move the goalposts just a fraction. So I'm stopping using any of the insane pronouns. The most I'll do is if I was to meet someone in a public place and I thought they actually were sincere and they're living the life as an opposite gender, i.e., they've got the work done, which is what they used to have in the 80s and the 90s, wasn't it? It was like quality control. Like if you're a trans woman and you're genuinely living in a woman as a woman, and you have been for years, and you've got the hormones and all of that shit, and you seem like a nice person and you're polite, I'm still willing to call them she just to be polite. But I think that's as far as I'll go with it. I'm not doing any of this shit online because fundamentally I don't believe most of the people that are involved in it. And I'm certainly not doing any of this fucking, what's the other ones? Like Z and Zer and fucking just making shit up. Because that's moving the goalposts in a way that, like I said, it's insidious and it's dangerous. So I'm not doing it. And I don't think you should either. So that's with regards to the language. As I said, I'm not using the terms misinformation. I'm not using the terms disinformation. I'm calling people what they are: deceptive liars. You're a liar. You're deceitful. You're manipulative. It's nothing to do with misinformation. And I'm not using bollocks pronouns and fucking ridiculous fictional made up terms. Have I got hay fever? I haven't, but I've got a very itchy nose and I don't know why. Who knows? I did exercise shortly before. I might still have some open pores and I just jumped out of a hot shower. Maybe that's it. But I haven't got hay fever. I don't get hay fever. I'm lucky in that respect. I'm not allergic to anything either. At least I don't think I am. Is there anything I'm allergic to? No, nout. The only real pandemic is noncery. Yeah, there you go. That's a fucking pandemic. It's spreading like wildfire. So yeah, these are crazy times we're living through, and I don't fully know how to explain it all. I just know that I'm willing to eat humble pie if I was to ever meet someone like Alex fucking Jones. I think at this point I'd be like, you know what? I used to laugh at you, mate. The last 2 years have proved me wrong. I've just got to accept the fact that fucking the world has gone mental. And as I've said, one of the old adages that I always liked was never attribute anything to malice what could easily be explained by incompetence. And that's one of the adages that I've lived by. But in the last sort of 2 years, I think I have to rethink that as well. I feel as if the powers that be really are malevolent. I don't believe that someone like Klaus Schwab must know that importing tens of millions of people, men, fighting age men, importing tens of millions of fighting age men from the third world and moving them to Europe, they must know that's harmful, deeply harmful. It's deeply harmful for the women and kids who are good. Some of them will forfeit. Again, I've talked about this, as I've said. I'm not even saying that I think it's anything to do with foreigners. Fighting age men are the worst. They cause 98% of all the crime. If you were to take 10,000 fighting age men from Leeds and ditch them in Middlesbrough, it'd cause trouble. You're suddenly uprooting them, put them in a load of council houses in Borough. There'd be more violent crime. There'd be more problems. There'd be more addiction. There'd be more violence. There'd be more fucking... To do it with tens of millions of people from alien cultures is deeply, deeply harmful. And I don't believe for a second that somebody as clever as Klaus fucking Dr. Evil Schwab can't see it. They must know it's harmful. And even if every single person you move in isn't criminally minded, if every single one of them is hardworking, it's still going to cause problems for the working classes because 99% of the people we import, this is another lie that the left tell all the time, lies, outright lies. Oh, actually, they bring more into our economy than they take out. Lies. I looked into it. Some woke twat in the comments, actually, immigrants coming to the UK increases our economy by £19 billion. The Spectator crunched the numbers and they said, if you adjust it for all the people that didn't come on like a worker's visa and all the people who came illegally and all the people who came in from the EU who had less than a high school education, it cost us something like 40 billion quid a fucking year. And everybody knows this because, again, working class people spend all the time around other working class people. And 99%, well, not 99%, 9 out of 10 immigrants to the UK in the last 20 years have had a high school education or less. Right? Does anybody think that's not fucking true? Anybody who's ever met any fucking working class immigrants? For every PhD from Canada, for every graduate student from California, there's 10 fucking blokes who can barely read or write. That's a fact. 99% of the people that moved to fucking England from Eastern Europe, Poland, Lithuania, they weren't coming to work as fucking research scientists. They were coming to work, as they did when I was in York. 5 or 6 of them were Polish, bin men. They've come to work as bin men, factory workers, drivers, clerks, low-paid jobs that fucking blokes like you and me would have done. GCSE education, shitty GCSEs from a shitty fucking state school. If they work. If they don't work, they're on welfare, they're on benefits, they're on the fucking dole, they get council houses, they put the kids in our schools, they use our doctors, our dentists, they use the NHS in general. They are a fucking drain. It's going to be at least 1 in 10. 1 in 10 are going to be. I'm being generous. I reckon 1 in 10 will be highly educated. What do you think? Immigrants to the UK, 1 in 10. So for every 9 Polish bloke with 2 GCSEs, or illegal Somalians, or Moroccans, or Algerians, or Pakistanis, or Indians, for every 9, you'll get 1 who's a working professional. So you do the maths. That one will be paying what? 10 grand a year in income tax, 20 grand a year in income tax. But he's got to feed and fucking clothe and house 9 hairy ass blokes. And this is what I'm saying. So even if you give them the benefit of the doubt and say 1 in 10 are highly trained, highly skilled, paying loads of money in income tax, the 9 will either not work at all and be a drain, or they are a drain on the working class anyway, even if they work. Because the drivers and the labourers and the window cleaners and the fucking low-level clerks should be getting done by working class blokes with 2 GCSEs from shit council estates in Middlesbrough, in Hartlepool, in Newcastle, in Sunderland. This is obvious. This is why, as I've done before, live, you tell me a fucking region of the UK and I can tell you whether it was Remain or Leave based off how posh it was. I don't even need to look at a map. If it's Hartlepool, you know they're leaving. If it's Harrogate, you know they want to stay. All this stuff is obvious. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about demographics or the working age of people or anything. It's common sense. And that's why the BBC employs people to lie for a living. And the Channel 4 employs people to lie for a living. And politicians, well, we all know they lie for a living. It's because you know a normal streetwise working class bloke who reads the papers every day knows what's going on. You know what's going on when you look out of your window. You know what's going on when the bin men come and 2 of them are from Eastern Europe. You know what's going on when every single bus or train you get on, a very significant number of them are from abroad. They've imported a new working class, which means it's harming the current working class. It's fucking common sense. It's hardly rocket science, is it? Hardly rocket science. If you were after a job labouring on a building site and we've brought over 200,000 Polish labourers, are your wages going to be higher or lower? It's not fucking difficult, this, is it? It's not difficult. So, yeah. Logical. It's called logic. Suck on it. Let's stop talking about fucking Disney and Netflix and common sense and do one more story because I've got 10 minutes left. Here's a good one. Oh, not that one. This one. Good old Florida. See, this is what I've told you, fuckers. I've told you. Britain's fucked. America, God bless America, is going to be all right. I told you guys this a year, 2 years ago, whatever it was when I was ranting about it. Europe's fucked because in Europe there isn't a conservative option. You've got left-wing conservatives. I mean, think about it. France thought they were getting a centre-right bloke, didn't they, with Macron? Macron, they're all getting a banker. Yeah, he'll sort everything out. He'll sort the economy out. He's fucking woke. In England, the Conservative Party, they're called Conservatives, and they're all left-wing arseholes. So, yeah, Britain's fucked. America still has hope. Talk about hope and change. America's got hope because in America, the conservative option, thank God, is actually conservative. In America, the Republicans actually are conservative. Now, I've never been a Republican. Not my cup of tea, American conservatism. A little bit too religious right for my taste. However, if you're going to force me to choose between religious right Baptist preacher types or woke communist fucking animals who want to upend the fucking chess table and introduce rampant, gender-bending, pedo-friendly fucking delusion to the general public and tear down the family unit and pull apart all the systems that have brought unbridled prosperity for the last 60 years, then you best believe I'm going to fucking reluctantly put a tick in the box for the Baptist preacher type. I've had this out with some of you. I've had it out with my missus. Some people think that the best thing to do, if you hate them, if you don't like either, is to not vote. Russell Brand has been a big advocate of not voting for many years. I don't advocate that when there is an actual conservative option, and I'm willing to meet you halfway there. Speedy Steve, of course. But you're talking about rhinos, right? Yeah, plenty of them as well. People like Mitch McConnell. Fucking, of course, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz. Most of them are self-serving scum. But there are options out here where they actually are interested in conserving American culture, history, and values. Those big three. And if you're a religious fucking Baptist type, but you unequivocally, Romney's shocking. I fucking hate that guy. Romney is a snake. But if you're interested in defending American culture and values and history, because it is the history one really annoys me because I'm a student of history. I like history. I read history books for pleasure. And the destruction, the annihilation of history, especially British history. And now everybody thinks fucking Braveheart looked like fucking Idris Elba. The Romans in Britain looked like the cast of the fucking Cosby Show. It sickens me to my stomach. It's detestable to lie about it. There's no need to lie about it. Why can't you just be honest and say, they moved here recently and they're welcome? Like I've said, I've thought of another reason why. You know, I was telling you, I always talk about how one of my best pals in school was an Indian kid. Another good reason that I've got for no time for, genuine racism is Druss the Legend. I've started rereading them. I haven't read them all through since the 90s. And the man transcended race. He just cared about what was right. And burning history books and lying about the past to children is just wrong. Druss has all these fantastic conversations with his poet friend Seben, and he's like devil's advocate. He's the one who's the poetic, the wordsmith, who always tries to tell him that up is down and left is right. They have a fantastic conversation in one of them. I think it's The Legend of Deathwalker. where there's a fountain that's been set up to commemorate the deaths of these 6 girls, the 6 virgins, and they drowned them. They ritually sacrificed them in order to give themselves favor with the gods before a battle. And just says his eyes instantly darken as soon as he hears the story, and he says, "Man, got no time for that." And Sebin says to him, "Well, what if that's the reason they did win the battle? What if losing the battle would mean 10,000 young women get killed and drowned and murdered? So surely it was a good idea to drown the women." And Druss says to him, "It just isn't. I'm not a man that's good with words. I'm not a great thinker or a grand scholar, but I know wrong when I see it." And as I said, all those novels had a powerful effect on me as a young man. So I know wrong when I see it. You can the postmodernists and the communists and the politicians, they can tell me up is down and left is right as many times as they like. I'm unbending in my belief that I don't need to be a great scholar. I don't need to be a learned man of numbers and letters. All I need to know is right from wrong. And when I see postmodernist academics and news media organizations and oily, silver-tongued snakes in the Houses of Lords and the Houses of Parliament telling me that a shit sandwich tastes like a fucking slice of freshly baked carrot cake, my blood boils and I'm filled with hatred and righteous anger and loathing for those people. I don't need to think about it too much. I just know right from wrong. And I know that lying about history and indoctrinating children and burning your history books and telling everybody under whatever guise you want to pick, ooh, it's all about inclusion. It's all about kindness and diversity and inclusion. Britain was full of black people in 1950. You're a liar. You're a liar. You can use whatever honeyed words you like. You are burning history books, pissing on the graves of the dead, and telling lies to children. I don't care what clever ways you wish to twist it and manipulate it. I know right from wrong. And it's as simple as that. So fuck you. As for the chat, I'm glad there's a lot of people signing off on Oasis. When I last put a music-based post in my community forum, I was very surprised to find how many people have genuinely got no taste in music at all. Bands like Oasis and the Stone Roses and Verve and Blur, the Charlatans, all the sort of Britpop era of the 90s. That was fucking good music. You can like the Rolling Stones and the classics of the 60s and the 70s without having outright contempt for Britpop of the 90s, because that's what I grew up with, and I think it's fucking spot on. I've really got back into Oasis lately. I fucking love them. Really good stuff. Fleetwood Mac good as well, yeah, but again, a little bit earlier than what I was into. But yes, Rebel Frog Guy, again, they can obfuscate and sneak and cheat and backstab and lie and slither through the corridors of power as much as they like. I know right from wrong. And I know that throughout history, ever have the tyrants and the mass murderers sought to rewrite the history books. The Nazis did it, Stalin did it, the commies do it, all of the fascists and the authoritarians and the scum do it. And now, the BBC and the Guardian and Channel 4 and Sky News and the British government and the fucking woke all around the world do it and convince themselves that it is just. Well, I say nay, you fucking woke commie vermin. I say nay. It wasn't just when the Nazis did it. It wasn't just when Mao did it. It wasn't just when Stalin or Pol Pot or fucking Kim Jong did it. Don't you dare try and tell me that it's just because you're doing it. Because it isn't. And you can use whatever clever, colourful rhetoric you like. The working classes will not stand for it because they know right from wrong. They learn it on their mother's milk. If it was wrong then, it's wrong now. And the BBC can fucking lie as many times as they want. It's wrong. Lying about history is wrong. Netflix is wrong. Disney is wrong. The BBC is wrong. And we are right. And as usual, time will fucking tell and prove that to be the case. Okay, I will call it there. I didn't even do that Disney story, but that rant there is basically aimed squarely at Disney and Netflix, and good on people like Mr. DeSantis and anybody else who knows right from wrong, despite the whispered, honeyed words of snake politicians. If you know right from wrong, you can stare at yourself in the mirror and know you're a man of conviction. Or woman. I know there's a few chicks with, I mean, their eyes aren't painted on, are they? Fucking hell. Of course there's a few chicks called the Angry Bootneck. You can look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of the person that stares back at you, regardless of the honeyed lies from our bureaucrats and politicians and talking heads. All right, so fuck them all. Ladies and gents, thanks for watching. As usual, please like it and share it if you can be asked. If you can't, doesn't matter either. You can have it for free, you twats. Click the links. Thanks very much. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. Stay sane, stay free. Cheers.